right. Yo. What's good? What's up? You already know what it is. This is Kickin at Mellow, and it's time for another episode. It is your lovely host, Ashley Elise. And over here to the left with the distractions is your guy.
Yeah, it's your boy. It's your boy, Brandon DeVincent. You know what I'm saying? And of course, we always have Miss Not on the Mic, Miss Stay Muted.
I would like to say that I have talked on 3 episodes. This is my 3rd episode that I've actually said something. So,
I was about to say,
proceed.
Let's just stop bringing her up.
Don't do that, nah.
That sounds very rude.
Don't do that, nah. That's crazy. That's crazy.
But it's okay. I don't have to be brought up.
So what's our introduction question, Miss? I've been on the mic 3 times.
You usually ask, how has your week been?
You talk about me being on late night vibes.
Right.
Hold on, here you go.
Usually ask.
You usually ask.
Oh, whatever.
That's that silver cap.
You know what? I'm not saying nothing else.
I knew it was gonna come over. I knew it was.
I ain't saying nothing else.
I knew it was gonna come over because it's still on your screen right now. I knew it was just
I'm a weird
brewing. But anyways, yeah. So you want to do a recap of the past week for the people? No, we all.
I know you said you ain't saying nothing else, but I think the people would like to hear a highlight from your week since it was your question. Go ahead and bring it in.
Well, technically my week just started, but but last week was a very interesting week. It was challenging, but I made it through, you know?
Challenging how, though?
Right. She ain't gonna give you
very generic.
I already can't see it.
Right.
Like, I use his voice. It's okay. It's okay.
What happened last week? Oof, I don't remember. That's how crazy it was. Actually, it was challenging, but it was good. Let's just say that.
Okay.
Because I took a day off willingly, like voluntarily took a day off. I didn't even need it for anything, but I took it. I never do that.
Okay. Okay, use that PTO. Yeah.
That wasn't PTO. That was a sick day.
It was. It was a planned sick day, though.
Y'all heard that, Jay?
No, it was a planned sick day, as in I requested it because I had appointments.
Right.
Okay. Appointments. All right.
How was you guys' week?
Boom.
Hit that Uno reverse. But then that means go back to Amalola though, actually. But anyways, I go ahead and go then. My past week was pretty cool and whatnot. I was in Dallas. There's a lot of interesting things going on. You know, it always feels like when you go back home, you never have quite the amount of time to do all the things that you would like to do. Can't quite see everyone. So it was unfortunate, but for those that I did get to see, we definitely enjoyed ourselves. For those that I didn't, we got nothing but time because I'm going to be back. Indeed. But for the most part, I spent it... For the most part, I spent it with my dad and my stepmom. So that was
They made cookies?
No. I can't eat cookies.
They stopped making those?
They wouldn't make them while I'm there. I can't eat them.
Hey, if y'all watch this episode and the next time y'all see DeVincent or whatever,
we like cookies,
right? And you know that like I'm still alive. While I recognize that he is not eating cookies, it would be greatly appreciated by the other residents who belong at blank blank blank. You know the address. We would like some cookies. Let me know if you need some assistance.
She already gave out a recipe though, so I already know what she gonna tell me. She gonna
wow.
They can make the cookies now.
But listen, you have a heart of gold, and your hands are like magic. So you do wonderful things with the both of them, and that mixed in with the ingredients make a wonderful concoction for amazing cookies that should be sold at the nearest bakery.
You know what else they use in cookies? Butter. And you trying to butter up that and it ain't working. I already know she gonna hit me up and be like, all right, Ashton, all right, let me tell her this, let me tell her that. She already gonna say it. But you know what? I'm gonna let her say it. All I'm gonna do when she send me the message, cause she gonna watch it. When she send me the message, I'm gonna screenshot it and send it right to you. I ain't gonna say nothing else. I promise. Whatever she says, I'm just gonna screenshot it and send it to y'all.
All right, I'm just whatever I should have.
But yeah, so I was over there. You know, we kicked it. We enjoyed ourselves. And I did a little bit here and there. I went to swing my golf clubs here and there. Went to the gun range. You know what I'm saying? Just in case. You know what I'm saying? I had to work on a lot of my skills now. But yeah, now I'm back. It was a quick little break. Also saw friends and stuff, obviously. Shout out to all of y'all. Shout out to everyone I saw. Shout out to people I didn't see. And shout out to the next challenge after this 45-day one, because it's going to be crazy. Yeah. That's all I got to say for right now.
Wow, you guys are very hard people to follow up behind, you know? But it is me, actually, at least, that's always coming through with the what? Mother freaking me sauce, okay? Highlight since the last session. We dropped that episode. We did that with like Friday, so it's been a quick little minute. So yeah, sure. We all probably should know. My highlight is going to the conference last week. It's my highlight, as well as what has essentially, I know y'all said this all the time, mollywopped me this week. Highlight because it was dope attending a conference, the AMEC conference by SNMA, Student National Medical Association. AMEC stands for Annual Medical Education Conference. It's dope. You pull up, you got pre-meds, people who are interested in becoming doctors who are not medical students, those are pre-meds. And then you have the med students, and then you have the people who are actual residents who are a step closer to becoming doctors, and then you have the actual doctors. So it was really like gang everywhere, and everybody looked like me. I'm surrounded by over 2,000 people who look like me with a common goal. It was crazy. A room full of intelligent, melanin having people. So big energy. It's like we was productive in spaces, and then it was turn up spaces. I will tell you what, my feet still hurt. Last night I was trying to put my food in the fridge, and OMG, it felt like I had heels on, and I did not. I had socks on carpet. So really wild. I definitely need a break, a little vacay, rest break after that conference. And it was only 3 or 4 days, but it was dope. Mad energy everywhere. I appreciated it. I needed it. It was motivational in many ways type thing.
So you was cooking up a lot, you know what I'm saying, behind the scenes before getting there. So you feel like all that energy and stuff was definitely worth it?
I think he's saying by cooking up a lot, it was the fact that this was a very expensive conference type thing. And what did I do? Some episodes ago, we talked about help. So I asked for help to actually be able to attend this conference because I could not afford it. And just moving, shaking, and baking. I was able to get that conference covered, the registration, as well as the hotel stuff situated, as well as my flight, and my food. Things were covered. Asking for help actually works. So I was shaking and baking, and to be able to see that return was actually, it was great. I did all that for the free. So I had to make the most of it, which is kind of there was times where I just wanted to chill and relax, but I was like, I gotta make the most of it. I might not get this opportunity again. And I was afforded this opportunity by the sacrifices of other people. So let me make this count type thing. Make the most of this opportunity. Create memories.
Most definitely. That's what it sounded like. And that was dope. Because you was walking into it already kind of winning. Based off the effort and energy you put in. Winning prior. And then winning there in the present. And then, now moving through that and winning some more. So that's definitely dope. I guess we can go ahead and get into, I guess maybe why people are here. Maybe people was really messing with the love languages, you know what I'm saying, the discussion, the beginning, and whatnot. If you have not checked it out, please go to the previous video in which we talked about quality time. Definitely, comment on the video. Let us know what you think. Let us know if quality time is one of your top love languages. I actually went on IG. I don't know if y'all saw, but I did a poll. And it's crazy because I did the poll and I went back and I didn't even look too much at the results, but because I forgot about it, I was doing too much. But most people, I think it was above 70%, were saying that quality time was in their top two of the 5 love languages. So quickly, like, what y'all think about that?
I wonder if that's like on the receiving tip or a giving tip.
Right, definitely.
Probably on the receiving tip. Probably asking for stuff they can't handle.
That's true. A lot of people, I think it might be human nature that people want things like when they want them. So when they want, like, things to occur, it's like, I want it now at this moment. And sometimes you don't really kind of get.
Sounds like
that.
a child.
Yeah, human. A child is a human. But yeah. So I guess we can get to the next one. It's on you to pull from the box this time.
Let me go ahead and hit it with a 1, 2, 1, 2. While you over there sipping that water, what y'all think it's gonna be?
I'm going with gifts.
All right. What you think? Today?
Physical touch.
Wow. Y'all, the sun's still out, so I'm not quite sure why she on late night vibes.
Yeah, she over here whispering.
I was drinking water.
She's a little parched. Guess she needs to wet her throat in order for her to create sound.
Hey, little mama, let me whisper in your ear.
I'll tell you something that you might want to hear.
Grow up.
I think it is cuss word. I was gonna say physical touch, but she just said that. I'm gonna say it too. Ooh. I'm sorry, I got excited. I guess, well, you already know what mine is. It's act of service, sweetie. Yes.
I don't know why I thought it was physical touch. Like, you just double down and like you won the bet. Like, that's what I thought it was. Like, ooh,
no, I love it here. I love it here. Okay.
Spoiling the end. They not gonna want to tune into the end.
They don't know the ranking. Golly.
Ooh.
Sorry, I got excited. If you know me, then you know.
Go ahead then. Let them know. If they don't know, let them know. What's active service to you?
If you're trying to be number 1 on my roster. JK, but not really. Not really. A roster? I don't get down like that. I'm not outside. Yo, so I think last time we did a thing where I was like, yo, I seen this clip. So in the same clip, when it came to acts of service, it was saying people who rank act of service as like number 1. It was a thing of tell me how many times in your childhood in which you had to depend on yourself type thing. And I said, ooh, how many times in my life have I had to depend on myself? Is that why I like act of service to the degree in which I do type thing? Good question that I need to ask myself and probably journal on and talk to my therapist. Who knows? But Sir DeVincent, How do you feel about acts of service? I'm trying to get on the late night vibes. Like, yeah, how do you feel about acts of service, my guy?
Acts of service to me, if I'm being completely sort of out of body, examining myself, I feel like on the giving end, acts of service is probably top 2 for me. It's just something I naturally kind of do. But on the flip side, I can't really say that it's in my top on the receiving end because I'm so used to doing everything by myself and just getting it done how I like to do it. And so one of the things I have said I was working on is allowing people to do certain things. You know, it's a lot of people feel like if I point out something and, you know, and it's more so like of improvement or like how I would usually do it, especially if you're doing it for me, they may take it to where it's like I'm disappointed or something. And it's like, nah, it's like, trust me, I would not allow you to do it if I didn't think, you know, you could do it type thing. But it kind of puts me in a space to where it's like I kind of just rather people not feel like they're disappointing me. And so I just go ahead and do it myself and go ahead and get it done myself and be efficient in that. That's how I've always kind of been per se. But it's like it's an evolution, right? You know, we grow and stuff. So that's why I said I'm gonna work on it because that's really, I think that's a mental part on me, you know, and figuring out what does quality time look like as far as receiving in for me? That's definitely been one of my biggest questions. So, have not figured it out yet.
You see what quality time looks like?
On the receiving end for me. On the giving end, I know what it looks like, but on the...
What about
I said quality
service,
time, my bad.
right? I was
What the freak am I talking about?
Yeah, it's a Monday. It's after 5 o'clock. You know.
Acts of service on the receiving end. Not quite sure what that looks like for me and what I'm allowing others to do for me. If that makes sense, it's something that's still a huge question for me. But yeah, but I don't want to go. I know what I'm gonna say next, but I don't want to go too much without letting you
deep.
I'm gonna say something.
Come and bring your body. It's a fire song, by the way. Whatever.
Need some water? Like, yeah.
I said I was thirsty before we had started the session, but nobody offered me water. How much people love you around here? It's crazy.
Don't you got water right there in the door right there with water in it?
Some people get on my nerves, but I just want water. Boy, when I was... Never mind, we can't, because that was a professional conference. I had a flashback to this one point at the conference. Are you distracted right now?
I'm not. I'm waiting on you to go ahead and get going where we going now.
What are you doing on your phone?
You really want to see?
No.
It's literally making sure it's the questions right. I'm making sure
my
screen doesn't die, so I don't have to put in the code.
Like, ooh, he distracted y'all.
Worry about yourself.
Technically, if I am worried about myself, it means that I am worried about how I'm spending my current time, making sure that we are producing quality in this precious moment. And in this moment, you are contributing to the space. So just want to make sure you're okay.
Thoroughly.
Ooh, you see how I connected the dots right there.
You learning.
Anyways, my take on of active service. You saw me get a little happy. Evidently, I appreciate act of service, and I never really know to what degree until something is done for me or on my behalf. And it really could be like the smallest of the smallest things. I mean, like opening the door is like cool or whatever. But for me, like, I don't know, it's like a long day and I've been like washing my clothes. You know, sometimes I leave my clothes in the washing machine or the dryer. Yikes, my bad. I know people wait on me. But like if I come home and like my clothes are like folded on my bed type thing. Or I have a dog. His name is Kobe. He's really cute. Like, I love my dog. So like helping me take care of my dog or like feeding my dog, like helping me do small tasks or like helping me with like my responsibilities is always like greatly appreciated, even when it's on the smallest of the smallest scale, because it's like one less thing that I have to do, and it gives me a break to just breathe, even if it's for 5 seconds. So I like really appreciate acts of service, and I like mentioned the story in the beginning because I think that actually contributed to it, like me always having this feeling of, yo, I gotta make something shake. If I don't, it won't get done, so all the weight falls on me. So whenever somebody performs like act of service as their love language directed towards me, it always feels good because it's like, oh, it's not all on me. Like, I'm in the world with other people who care about me type thing. So it feels good to receive it. Am I always great at receiving it? I will say no. I'm trying to be a little bit more mindful. When I say no, I mean because like once upon a time I wasn't like great in regards to like transportation, but I don't remember like the whole workup or whatever, but the Vincent here used to take me to school. And that was one thing that I didn't have to worry about. Or Lola used to take me to school, and that was one thing I didn't have to worry about. I just got so used to receiving those services that my lack of appreciation was not there type thing. So one could say I wasn't a great recipient of such service. So I would like to apologize if I've never apologized before, and I do appreciate it. So I do struggle sometimes with receiving, but I would like to say I think for the most part I do a great deal of receiving. And then in regards to like giving out, like that being my type of like love language, like that I give to other people that I care about, I think I do that more so on a healthy tip now. And I say healthy tip now is because like when I'm doing it, it's not so I have a sense of purpose or a sense of belonging in someone's life, because I think I used to fall victim to doing that. previously. Like, I want to feel important. If I don't feel important, then I feel easily disposable. This sounds like a therapy session as I'm speaking, but I feel easily disposable, and I don't like that feeling. I like to feel like someone like needs me, and maybe it's like I don't know, from childhood neglect or abandonment type thing, whether it's emotional or so forth, not necessarily physical. But yeah, I just used to do and do just so I could have a sense of purpose, whether it was real or not. But now it's just like this is my way of saying, hey, I care about you. I don't have to have a sense of purpose or a sense of entitlement to your accomplishments type thing. I don't have to have anything. I just want to find ways of being able to help you so that way you don't feel alone. This is my token of, hey, I love you type thing. I care about you. You're important. You are deserving.
Yeah, I was gonna mention what you mentioned at the end. Definitely was one of my issues. Where one of the I said gifts I have is like more so my awareness. It's like I'm always paying attention to a lot of things, and so that bodes well for like acts of service, gifts, words of affirmation, stuff like that, because that's something that's like more so attention to detail, and everything of that nature. My problem was I feel like I was bending over backwards a lot of times, for individuals or people that, not saying they wouldn't do it for me, but they're not gonna do it as much probably as I would. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it took a minute for me to understand that most people are selfish, but you have to be. So that was the realization for me. Like at first I didn't know that. I was always like more so of a selfless person. Like, you know, every time I have something I'd give more than I would take, and more like I would never actually, like, I feel like a lot of people would say this, like I don't ask for too much as far as what's needed from me.
Why not?
Because I've always efficiently like got things done what I felt like was a good manner for myself.
What if other people or things could do it for you?
Correct. That's why I mentioned in the beginning, where it's like I'm open to that. I'm starting to open more to that. But for me, I have to get a vibe or energy that you're willing to actually do it to a certain degree that I would. Like, it has to be sort of like a genuine intent. And it's like a genuine like want to do it. Like, even if you just wanted to do it for me and I felt that, then it's like, you know what?
I tried.
Bet. You know what I'm saying? But if it's like on some like, you sure you want to do that with a blah blah? It's like, yeah, that's not really what I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. You know?
Do you like genuinely want to show up for me, or is it just like I showed up for you, remember that type thing? Like, don't
that
forget,
and it's more
like
so on some like
check off.
It's more so like of, how can I say it? Like it's like you feeling like somebody like thinking they should help, but they really don't want to help, so they just offering just so you look like, you know what I'm saying? Now, like, at least I offer.
Why do
you know?
Why do you do that?
Yeah, I don't know. But
I don't mean so when I say that, because I'm like, maybe sometimes like we do it type thing. I don't know why we do it, but while you were saying that, you know what I was thinking about? Like when I said like, oh, you guys used to like drop me off or whatever, and I probably wasn't always as appreciative or outwardly expressive of my appreciation as I should have been. Also, at that same token, I realized while you're speaking that I was not in a place where I accepted the fact that I needed assistance type thing, like on my journey. Like right now, like I say, I need help, or like I don't want to do this alone. I actually want help. At that space, like I wasn't saying like I want help type thing. I think it was just like I'm getting it, so okay. I don't know, I guess I just wanted to hold on to my sense of independence type thing, to make me feel like I had a grip, that I had some sense of control, as opposed to like spreading it out. And that's what I felt like it would be like if I just openly opened up my arm and like acknowledged like, hey, I need help. Can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this type thing? And I think that's why sometimes it felt great just to see things were being done. And I wasn't like jumping for joy, but it would always like bring a smile to my face when things were done without me asking. But I still didn't have the ability to be able to say like, hey, thank you for this, or hey, thank you for this, or hey, I noticed this type thing. I would just smile either on the inside or slightly on the outside and just keep it kicking. The lack of acknowledgement didn't necessarily show that I actually appreciated the act of service. So it was like those were many layers there type thing. That even now having this conversation, I'm realizing like I had to be in a space to be able to say like, I don't want to do this on my own. I don't care to hold this title of being independent. Like, I'm not going to equate that to the strength that I have as a person type thing. Like, I deserve to get some assistance. Like, I deserve to be able to share my load no matter, like, the size of it type thing. Like, all and anything is greatly appreciated. Like, I'm in a space to be accepting of the service and the fact that I actually need help with the service. So growth.
Yeah, no, definitely. When we were saying that, I completely agree. Like, it's crazy because on one side, I can't even say it's crazy, it's kind of like life, but like on one side, you can be given something, and anything you do, you can give, and it's never gonna quite be received how you intend to give it. It could actually
Never
be
say never.
What they call that,
There's a possibility.
over unity generator, where you get out more than you put in. That doesn't quite always happen, so the result might not always be like exactly what you expect. Sometimes it can be over tomorrow. Oh dang, I didn't know it was gonna be like that. Okay, that's what's up. But more times than not, it's not quite like that. And so that's a hard realization to go to, because then you have to track down, because when that happens, I think as humans it's kind of like, okay, well, I wasn't expecting that. So, so you kind of got to dial back and remember, like, why you were doing it. Like, remember what's your why and your intent behind those things. Because somebody that really does acts of service, especially if you're, like, I guess in a relationship or, like, close with people that receive acts of service well, but like you were saying, may not be in a space to where or realization to where that's what they actually need, or accepting that, right, then that could be tough on the mental, the person that's right, putting that effort out, because they may be doing those things maybe to get some attention, maybe to express certain things, so when it's not either reciprocated or received in a manner in which they're respecting, it could potentially throw off that person's maybe will to do the same things or things of that nature, similar to, now I think about it.
I think that's why conversation is important. Like, I mean, we're just now having this conversation, but these instances were occurring like when I was like a first year medical student, which was back in 2019. We're in 2022 type thing. Like, within a year I'll be graduating. So like that was a long time ago. And even while you were speaking, I was like asking myself like, why wasn't I able to be 100% appreciative type thing? Like, even if I was at like 75%, like, why wasn't I able to appreciate it 100%, or openly express my appreciation as much as I actually appreciated it type thing? And then the only answer that came to my head was power. And I think that speaks to when I was saying like me wanting to have a grip of being like independent, having a sense of control. Like, I don't know, maybe I felt like things were slipping and I needed it to feel as strong as possible. So like, Ashley, you still are able to do this, like you control this factor, boom, boom, boom. But not realizing like, you can still have this sense of power, this sense of certainty, or whatever it is that you need, or a sense of independency while people are assisting you. Like, it is okay. Because I remember when it came to a point to where like I had to depend on myself to do it, I remember saying like, yes, I can now depend on myself to do it. But then I had a flashback to time periods in which I literally could depend on no one but me. So I was like, why was I striving to get back to a space to where I could only, or would only be able to depend on myself? I didn't even like it then. Like, it was draining. I didn't like it on an unconscious level type thing. I didn't like it. So why was I trying to get myself like back into that space? Like, why was I so happy and excited for that? I wasn't. I don't think I was. I just thought that it would give me a sense of like more control. I'd have like more power. I'd feel like stronger type thing. But no, I think in the end it was like a sense of like drain type thing. Because now I have to put more energy, time, and effort here as opposed to being able to have it in my reserves for other things type thing. So again, like I say, I think it is dope where I am now type thing, and being able to appreciate things. Like even when we like go do like grocery runs and I'm not able to do it and one of you guys are able to do it, I'm definitely appreciative. Like y'all don't like be seeing me, but it was that one time I was in the car, he was like, hey, I'm about to make a store run. I was like, oh my god, thank you. I was in the car like live at 5 type thing, even though I know you got to go to the store and get your own stuff, but it's just like, yo, like while I'm at the store, like I'll pick up the stuff for you guys type thing. Like even though it didn't take you, I don't know, going miles out of your way to do it, it's just like, it's one less thing off my list, sweetie. I could like breathe. I could sit on I'm about to say sit on the toilet but I don't really be doing that for extended periods of time. But you know, I don't that be you. Anyways, it's just it's dope. It's dope.
Yeah, no, that's definitely dope. I was gonna mention one thing I forgot to mention. You mentioned earlier was the sense of importance, or that you were key to somebody's life, and I think that's something that I also very, very, very big problem I had, that I was not knowing my worth and my value, definitely underestimating that. And that's when I mentioned when I was going above and beyond for people. It's like I didn't need to do that, but I felt like I needed to in order to complete my sense of worth, or you know what I am to those around me. And so, and I think that's always been a problem for me. But I know the one time it definitely, the period in which that feeling was hanging over my head so much was definitely the period before I started working and getting all my stuff, and really, you know, being like more close to the debt free and all the other stuff.
Right.
You know, I remember when the dogs came in, all them puppies, man. That was crazy.
Stressful, right?
That was crazy. But the thing about it was more so like you know, you all helped me pay for things. It was just like this is the only thing I feel like I can do, at least to show my appreciation. Because outside of that, like, you know, everything else was just sort of standard. Like, you know, the house was the house. I mean, we were renting at the time, so you ain't got to worry about too much. But you know,
it's crazy. While you were thinking that, I think I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how we could assist you with getting more time to be able to be there and show up for yourself and get into a headspace where you can actually see yourself and like evaluate like your situation type thing and figure out like your game plan as opposed to showing up for us. Like I was just like, I don't need you to show up for us. I need to figure out how you can show up for yourself, and if need be, like how can I show up, or how can we show up? But I didn't do a great job of showing up because I just kept pushing on things like my assistance, how I thought you needed it, and didn't actually give you space to figure out what you actually needed, for you to tell me what assistance you needed. Even when it was like, yo, like, I don't know. Like just creating that space to just be able to sit in a I don't know type thing, instead of just like throwing things like maybe this is it type thing. But you know, for me, I think this whole act of service, or like needing to this sensation previously, like needing to show up for people, I just think it's probably again tied to childhood things. I guess I probably wanted to be an amazing kid. I wanted to get things great. I wanted to just be less of a burden as possible, and that was probably just my way of saying like, love me, I'm easy to love, I'm not much, like I'm not heavy, I'm not a burden, like I'm an easy child to take care of. Like anybody would love to claim me as their kid, or love to say like, hey, that's my daughter, she's amazing. But I didn't have many opportunities in which I heard that or felt that type thing. And I think it just carried over into my behavior. Like, hey, I just want to feel important to someone or into a space type thing. Like how do I do that? Like how do I make people want me to be in their space and actually appreciate me in their space and openly acknowledge it? Well, I have to be able to do things for people type thing. But then I dropped that. That's not why I want you to want me in your space. This is my way of expressing I love you, and that is solely it. And if you do it for me, I want you to use that as a token of I love you, not tied to our worth per se. Like me, my presence or your presence isn't tied to what you can do for me. It's more so who you allow me to be. And acts of service allows me to have more energy to what? Take care of me and find new ways of loving me and showing up for the people in which I love.
That's good. That's real cool. Real cool. Real legit. Since we're keeping these a little shorter than normal, we're going to go ahead and get to maybe like some tips or something. Like if you have any tips for those looking to, let's say they don't have, I think most people genuinely enjoy acts of service though. But if for those that don't have, that maybe working on giving as far as acts of service, or do giving first and then receiving, you have any tips for giving as far as acts of service, like, what could help in that department?
In regards to giving, in regards to acts of service, I just say everything is tied to communication. Communication entails a situation or a space to where somebody speaks, whether it's with their body, verbally type thing, or you're physically communicating with your words, verbal, my bad, mistake. So pay attention to that, what's spoken type thing. And then figure out how you can show up in those spaces. So it's really communication, listening, and then putting forth the effort to be able to cradle those wants and those desires, those unspoken things type thing.
Yeah, I think communication and being present and aware, for sure. If it's somebody that you really care about, then I think some things, I think if it's people in your close circle, or even maybe somebody you're in a relationship with, if you don't have this down already, you should definitely, it's healthy to be aware and pay attention to little things. When you do certain things, how is it received? How do you feel like it makes them feel? Not even just on a verbal communication, but non-verbal. Like, look at everything, the little things. You know what I'm saying? And that'll give you more insight to what type of, even if they don't communicate it well. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people just don't maybe receive certain things well, but you being aware over time is definitely gonna be something that's appreciated, because everyone can appreciate having someone that appreciates them. So yeah, if you're looking at those things, I definitely think you're in the clear as far as giving. But as far as receiving, so as far as receiving goes, I would say that it's the same thing as far as being aware and communicating, and not, when I say aware, like in those moments in which something is given to you, it's an act that was done for you. Definitely take time to sit back and just breathe, like accept it, take it in, because you just never, even if it wasn't done exactly how you wanted it to, it's not done exactly what you're used to being done. With that, you have to be able to sit back and just be like, you know what, I have to appreciate the act, because there isn't anyone else around like willing to want to do this for me. And the fact that they take the time out to do this for me, I have to appreciate their time and their gesture, and show that. And then, from a genuine standpoint, you can communicate how you like it to be done, or whatever the case may be. Pretty much double down on how much you appreciate it, but let them know, like, okay, well, this is how I typically would do it, though. I appreciate it, but, in the future, whatever, blah, blah. It's a good way of doing that, communicating that. But yeah, just being aware and present in the moment, I think, would bode well on both sides as far as giving and receiving.
I think my last bit of tip will just be from my personal experience, a tip that I give to myself. And I would just say to allow yourself to feel. and be in a space to where you acknowledge that you are deserving type thing, and don't be afraid of your emotions. And I say that because I appreciate acts of service. So I would like to be in a space to where I allow myself to appreciate it internally as well as externally type thing. Just be able to ride those emotions that I feel. Like, it makes me feel love. It makes me happy. If I was of a lighter complexion, I'd probably turn red. Like, I'd probably be like big blushing. Like, it really does wonders for me. But I'm more so like, let me be a little bit more reserved. Like, no, I can't show anybody that I'm this excited. Like, I don't allow myself to experience those emotions. And I think in a sense, I don't allow myself to actually feel the love that I'm feeling. I try to put it in a box. So my advice, if you're similar to me, don't put it in a box. Open the lid. If you have a tendency to put things in a box, don't do that type thing. Allow yourself to what? Feel loved, feel appreciated, and know that you deserve it. Because what? You're amazing.
Oh, one more thing I was gonna say, actually, because you made me think about it. And it just piggybacks or veggie backs, if you're vegan, off what you said. But
not the pig.
But yeah, I think what help a lot of individuals, and it actually makes fun out of it, is just learning the art of reciprocating energy. Like, if someone gives you something, even though that may not be your love language, especially if it's like in a relationship, take it on as a challenge. You're like, oh, okay, I see what you did there. All right, I'm about to come back. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna surprise you. I'm gonna get you whatever. But like, that'll be something to where it's like, it's more. If you don't know how to appreciate it in the moment, then find a way to come back and be like, okay, you got me. You got me this time. All right, that's cool. But I'm coming back. You know what I'm saying? They have that sort of energy, and I think that might assist just a little bit. It might assist a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, that you could do that, and also, like, I think it's important when you are on the receiving end or giving end to be able to know how to effectively communicate type thing. Like, you don't have to bash people for their efforts if you don't fully appreciate it, or you can't fully appreciate it because it's not your language type thing. It's still okay to be able to recognize somebody's efforts without you counting yourself out type thing. Like, you can do both. You can appreciate and recognize somebody's efforts, and you can also stand up for yourself and say, hey, like, this isn't my language per se. I actually prefer this. So I think it's important to teach people how to love us in a language in which we recognize. But that's probably a whole nother episode. And we trying to keep it short, but I think we just over here talking. So let's go ahead and Cuddy, you want to close us out, Vincent?
Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all once again for listening to us, because you wouldn't have to take out your time if you didn't want to, if you didn't really like us like that. So hopefully y'all like us. And speaking of liking, go ahead and like the video. Comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you haven't already. We hope you enjoyed our conversation. This is the second part, second installment, talking about the different love languages. And today, once again, we talked about acts of service. So please comment below if acts of service is in your top, and if not, why, or maybe give some examples of how you give with acts of service, how you receive. If you struggle with those, let us know down below, or you can also DM us on IG at Kickin and Mellow and let us know what you think. And of course, individually, we have our social media down below. And shout out to all the audio listeners as well. If you don't like to listen to us on YouTube, or if it's more
we cute,
valuable, but if it's more worth your time, as you go around and you're busy to listen to audio platforms, definitely hit us with that 5-star. Give it a nice little rating on there. But yeah, continue to let us know what you think. Hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all week. And yeah, that's gonna be it, man. Appreciate y'all for coming.